What's good, people? Kai Storm in the building. New review for That One Voice Revised Edition. New reasons to get this book. Thank you for joining my channel today for my unpopular opinion. But of course, I got to tell you about my book because I got to get you to buy my book. Yes, indeed. Hit me up, get yourself an autographed copy, $15. The purchase information will be in the description. Now let's get to the review.
When God heals you this time, don't run back to what destroyed you, because that wasn't just a lesson, that was mercy. Okay, you didn't survive all that just to prove you're nostalgic. Okay, God didn't pull you out so you could circle back and say, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad. No, it was. That's why you prayed for God to get you out of there. Okay, we love asking for healing, and then we miss the chaos once peace feels quiet. Okay, but peace is quiet on purpose. Okay, there's a reason the door closed. Okay, you didn't lose it. You were released from it. All right, Isaiah 43:18. Forget the former things. Do not dwell in the past. That's not a suggestion. That's instruction. All right, because healing isn't complete if you keep romanticizing what broke you. Okay, so yeah, when God heals you this time, don't go back out of boredom, out of loneliness, out of curiosity, because if he brought you through it.
Somebody just watched your video all the way through and they didn't like it or comment on it because it's you. Because it's you. Post whatever the fuck you want to post because somebody's not gonna like it because it's you. Who the fuck cares?
Hola, ¿cómo está mi gente? ¿Qué pasó? Yes, I got my Panama shirt on, so I'm feeling myself. Ooh, little weed dust on my face. Okay, cool. Anyway, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Problems 24/7. All right, because we already know they coming with some real ratchet shit the rest of this season. So let's read on. The Frost try to navigate their family. Wait, the Frost try to navigate their I ain't even start smoking yet, and I can't even. Okay, let's try this one more time. The Frosts try to navigate their family through the aftermath of a recent tragedy. Okay, this probably has something to do with they son getting arrested or somebody, yeah, because somebody died and shit like that. Spice asked Jock to help her son see what's really going down in the music industry. Spice is bringing on her son on this show, but then again, he was on the show before, so yeah, that's true. Her kid's been on the show, yes. Salma's showcase. Salma's showcase goes left when her cheating rumors once again. Yeah, rise the fuck. Yes. Anyway, who is writing these descriptions? They missing some shit. Anyway, yes, let's get into the episode. Cause no, you see that it says Salma's showcase goes left when her cheating rumors once again. Once again, do what? Like finish the fucking sentence, bitch. What the? Anyway, let's just get into it, child. Cause somebody just decided to end the sentence before they even finished the bitch. Oh, I just realized I ain't give a proper introduction. What's good? Of course, we watching Love and Hip Hop at Atlanta 24/7. Kai Storm in the building. What else is going on? Check out my channel sponsor. And of course, get yourself an autographed copy of That One Voice Revised Edition. Yeah. Now we can get into the episode. I gotta talk about it. I gotta talk about this because I remember because they decided to show the last little piece of last week's episode with Yandy and Mendici drama talking about 20 years and walking away and whatever, and you see Yandy's face welled up with tears. I'm remembering immediately. I'm remembering how she was arguing down Mendici's baby mamas. because she was proving that she was the better one out of all of them because she actually got him to marry her. And it's like, girl, we went from that to this. Chat. So they start the episode with talking about Salma and this showcase she's having. And well, no, actually, they started her with we started the show with her doing the cipher scene that went that all of a sudden moved into her, practicing in the studio while her husband is watching. I ain't gonna front, it sounded alright, you know what I'm saying? It sounded like it was a bop, you know what I mean? So she's talking to her husband and she's telling her husband, that she's thinking that, she needs a new manager because apparently husband is manager and she needs a new manager because there's not as much concentration on her and her development and her music because her husband is doing his own shows and he's booked all over the place. Don't ask me where, but he's booked all over the place. So, he booked, and so she trying to tell him, you don't have enough time to be booked and busy and deal with me, so we should bring somebody else in. And then he looking at her like, the reason why you able to live the life that you live is because I stay booked and busy. So I gotta stay booked and busy. And as far as bringing somebody in, I ain't trying to be co-signing and co-working with a motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and you could tell she wasn't happy with that conversation, much less that's what is going to be, I guess, the issue between them. Where he gets to bring up this little, cheating rumor, and of course, like I said in my last review, it sounds like she's gonna be fudging with the numbers as far as when the last time she actually was with old boy. So you know what I'm saying, fudge with the numbers, and then this little situation with your husband, all of a sudden, I'm saying, look like some Love and Hip Hop script type of shit just to keep you on the show, but whatever. And then they show Spice and Spice's son, at his birthday, how she gave him 18 gifts. Now, of course, online, we all got to see, when that really happened, that she gave him a house. She not only gave him a car, but she gave him a house. You know what I mean? And like one of the gifts was a house and a car. So, but they didn't show that on the TV. They only showed him getting a car. But she gave him a house too, which good present, Spice, because she miss her Wooly buy expensive sneakers and things and all kind of other things. So yes, first microphone and things, very, 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 very festive party. Yes, indeed. But let's get to the drama and the scheduled ratchetness, because hello, the scheduled ratchetness is what we all here for, ain't we? Okay. Give me a second before we dive into Georgia Prune and neck over here. Let's just give me a whole fucking second, because you know what I'm saying, we all know that whatever the fuck they about to talk about is just a storyline. It's an exaggerated storyline. But before that, Spice son, he was doing his song, and of course Jock and his son came in the studio, and I guess they giving him advice or whatever, which I see it, it's a cute little scene. And Spice talking about, she worried about, being in the music industry and things like that. But at the same time, Spice, let me know, say you are guide and protect that boy. Them not, him can't, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm a big man still, but you I know you done set up certain things with a man, all right, a certain way. But then I also agree with what Jock was saying, because Jock was giving advice like, yo, you kind of throwing shit at him a little bit, and you know what I'm saying, that might attract the wrong attention. So you gotta, but at the same time, I also see that. I also feel like Spice protect them thing there and have the certain things certain way and man, it's a guidance and things that have set up and things. So me not check say, she have anything we're open where what I say, like she not like what I say, like I think she have things set up and secure for the man is what me I say. Yeah. Okay, now that I got that off my chest, we could go ahead and dive into Georgia Prune's story. Go ahead, Georgia Prune. Go right ahead. Okay, before I talk about Kirk and Georgia Prune, I forgot to mention that there was a scene with Scrappy and Sierra, and it was at, I guess, I don't know, I guess her store or something. And she was, displaying her seasonings, Ghetto Girl Eat seasonings. And, it was talking about Salma's event and how that she should show up with her man because 24 gonna show up, 24 gonna be there, and they could have a little conversation. And I guess this is where that conversation gonna go real left, real motherfucking fast. Now, Georgia Prune and Kirk, of course, they were talking about the daughter because she was messing with the dude who got unalived and her brother was accused, and we already seen how it played out in real life, but of course it's got to play out again, just like Yandy fuck shit. It's got to play out in front of our faces because they need the check. I'm just saying, they need the check. Child, because motherfucking Yandy needed more scenes, she and Bambi and Carly got together, and she officially said it in front of the camera that her and Mendici are not together, but apparently they still live in the same house. Child, that man said that that man was on a podcast and said y'all was not together for a whole year before this even started fucking taping. So and then to further extend the Kurt Frost Bistro Georgia Prune narrative, Spice goes and visits them, and she brings them some Jamaican food that look like oxtails. You know what I'm saying? So clearly an expensive dish. And she brings them some food, and they sit and chat, and everything is everything. Yeah, and we start talking about restaurants closed because people leaving death threats on the gate. And yeah, I don't really care. I don't care about Georgia Prune. Okay, men can be really messy too. Or not. I'm not even gonna say that. No, fuck it. Men can be really messy too, because this motherfucker. Okay, so we rolling up on Selma's event, which always bugs me out when they do these events for this. All these people show up to listen to one song. Because it's not like she's gonna be up there singing 2-3 songs. She's gonna be one song. All right. So what I mean, and everybody's pulling up, and there's a conversation in the back look like with Mendici, Young Jock, and motherfucking, why am I calling that old ass man Young Jock? Motherfucking Mendici, Jock, and motherfucking messy ass Scrappy. And just for the record purposes, they allow Medici to say yes, it's over between me and Yandy, and they sitting there with the shock face like they shocked when we all know this has been going on. Then all of a sudden 24 rolls up and he's talking to everybody, and then here come motherfucking messy ass Scrappy talking about, yo, it's so funny because you and Medici going through the same thing. And he look at 24 looking at him like, me and Medici going through this. What are you talking about? I ain't going through nothing. And he's like, nah. And then Jock tried to clean it up like, nah. It's because you not divorced. You're not divorced, but so you done got to the bottom of your situation with you and your wife. And this nigga looking at him like, yeah, nigga, everything cool with me. And then he go to the confessional like, see, I ain't even want to talk about this. Like, what? Why the fuck would you even bring this up at this point in time in the first place? But then again, at the same time, I forgot that messy ass Scrappy is the one that told Sierra to bring her man to have this conversation. So yeah, he in the midst of the mess all the way up and down and through and left and right and all the way from the bottom top. He is constructing a messy ass scene. Like I said, this one ass song performance, everybody showed up for this one performance. But we on Love and Hip Hop, we shooting the scene, so everybody also is aware of that. You know what I'm saying? But so in this scene, Selma sits down with um with Carly Red, Bambi, and Rennie Rucci, and they talking about Sierra, and they saying that that everything was cleared up, and they just and everybody's making text messages look like it's sex, and it's like yes, and then she says yes. Yes, I've kept in contact with him. Yes, well, he's bought bottles at the club. Yes, I've used him, and these texts are from like 2 years ago. Hold up. At first, you said that those texts were from fucking 10 years ago because you and your man is doing a 9-year anniversary, so that was from 10 years ago. But then it moves to 2 years ago. And I do remember last week they showed a scene where she was conversating with somebody, and then she said something about 7 years ago. So it's like the date keep moving, girl. The date line keep moving, and the math keep unmathing and mathing again. You feel me? So therefore, it's not making you look good. Like I said in my last review, it's making you look like a what? A liar. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And then we got a scene where Sal, where you know what I mean? Because like I said, if old boy got recent text message receipts, recent, and he feeding all that shit to Sierra. And even as she was talking, Bambi went in her confessional was like, bitch, I seen text messages that were recent, but we gonna let you rock with this narrative. We gonna let you rock with this narrative. Okay, wait a minute. Let me make sure. Wait a minute. Yeah, we on full disclosure of every minute. So Selma and 24, and they in they space talking, and he letting her know, what I'm saying, I told you I was gonna bring somebody through. Superpower producers, Drummer Boy and Jazzy Faye was in the building to come hear her out. You know what I mean? I don't know what it mean by hearing her out, but I guess they was in the building and they liked what she did, so da da da. And so she was very thankful for that. And then meanwhile on the side, Bochinche side, because complete Bochinche on the side is motherfucking Rennie Rucci and Bambi, and they talking about, how the timeline ain't timeline like how it's supposed to be timeline. So, you know what I mean? But they see, husband is there is riding her back. He ride or die right here. So then in comes Sierra and her man. You know what I mean? And they finna walk over to Selma and 24 to have a conversation. Child, I just wanna I just want to brace myself for this because here is where the ratchet really comes through. Now, Scrappy, tell me why you need to be in the middle of this. No, 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 no. This seemed like a conversation between these two and Sierra and her husband. Why are you sitting here? What is your purpose? What do you need to be front row seat for? For what? Cause you messy. That's why. And at the same time, Scrap is over here telling us that this messy bitch right here and her ready to beat somebody ass husband didn't come through to rumble and tumble in fisticuffs. Like you didn't jump in into the first row seat just to see the rumble and the fisticuffs that's about to happen between this messy bitch and her ready to rumble ass husband. Uh-huh. Lies. We ready to see the rumble. Now, Sierra, I don't respect that. I don't respect that at all because first of all, you came in there, you started talking to 24 about how she ain't tell you that we met up, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on that she ain't tell you, and then he looking at her like, yeah, I mean, she might have told me that y'all met up, but I don't really care because it's not important. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go ahead and talk to my wife because whatever the hell you talking about is woman stuff. Like, you ain't got to talk to me. And then, of course, Sierra called herself getting offended because she like, yo, why you talking to me like that? And she's like, and he looking at her like, you talking to me. You the one that talking to me. You keep talking about me. You keep my name in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, uh, um, what you call it? Husband is like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, is you good, nigga? And then 24 get up and told him, no, I'm not good. The fuck? I'm not good. What's up? Because your hoe keep talking about me. Your hoe keep my name in her mouth. And then this month, and then Sierra husband like, yo, check your girl, check your hoe. He's like, no, check your hoe. And then he's this motherfucker said that, oh my, that I watched I watched my brother fuck your wife. And then 24 came off and was like, oh, and you like that shit, right? You like that shit. And then of course, uh, Salma in the back like, bitch, I don't even know what the fuck you talking about. What the fuck is you talking? You talking about some text message? And then of course, hold up, before it get any deeper, stop right there. Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then of course they start going back and forth, and the minute when 24 said, no, I'm not good, Scrappy got up because I guess Scrappy is defending 24 and shit because Scrappy claimed he ain't know it's gonna be beef, but he don't want this shit to go wrong or nothing, so he claimed he gonna be in the middle. But the whole shit kicks up into ratchetness because Sierra throws a drink on Salma, and Salma looking at her like, bitch, what the fuck you doing? What the fuck is you doing that for? And then that's when, husband Sierra husband talking about, I'll straight smack the shit out of you, and then it started looking like a tussle. But let me get into the rest of it to see what it was. But I don't respect how this shit started because it really wasn't the heat that it needed it to be. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't on that heat. They wasn't on that type of time. And clearly y'all came there on that bullshit. Like y'all really came there on some bullshit, and I don't respect it at all. And they end the episode with of course, Sierra and her husband getting put out, and as she's getting put out, she's yelling about every time Salma's kissing her husband, she's sucking on, she's tasting her brother-in-law's dick, and it's like everybody heard that line and wilded out. And then at the same time, Salma called herself mad at her husband because according to her, it was his fault that the conversation escalated. And I don't see it like that. I most certainly see it as Sierra came with the shits and her husband was with the shits, so they just followed up and did the shits. And 24 didn't give a fuck about none of that and just grabbed up wifey and said, "Let's go, I'm leaving." Then they show what's going on in the next episode, and apparently it's this divorce strip that uh Carly is throwing, Lord. Carly is throwing, and somebody, and apparently Miss Yandy is on there, and Spice is asking her directly, "Did you cheat on your husband?" And I guess that becomes a conversation. And then apparently next baby mama and her best friend are in a situation over her drink and how she act up and act a fool. And then apparently uh uh what's his name, Lil Zane's mama and Ashley's mama look like they about to fight over what, I don't know, but they need their chicken gift card. And we gonna be here to watch. We gonna be here to watch because the fuck out of here. But I'm assuming that this is how it gets, the whole cheating rumor is going to get brought up and kept up, because again, it is part of their storyline and what's keeping them interesting in the episode. So and I'm assuming well, not assuming, we all know this is the last of Love and Hip Hop, so they got to go out with a bang. I'm Kai Storm, My Unpopular Opinions channel. Thank you for being here. Make sure and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like, keep it cute in the comments. Hit me up for my book. Definitely check out my sponsor, bougiestoner.co. And see me next time I got an unpopular opinion. Yeah.